We've got a tendency to put each other in boxes, to conclude someone's motivations based on some small sliver of information. Trophy hunter, meat hunter, rifle hunter, bow hunter. There's times when an empty freezer sets your priorities. And then there's other times when you can afford to look at inefficiency and adversity as virtues, as something to be sought out and embraced rather than avoided. This is the story of one of those times. Do you fly in many bow hunters?
No, actually, not at all.
Killing is kind of the least of it. It's the hunting.
To go in there and try to kill a trophy buck with a rifle is one thing. To go in there and try to kill a legal buck with a longbow is a completely different matter. And anybody that's done any kind of hunting will understand the distinction between those two things.
Idaho's a great state, and that's one of the greatest parts of a great state.
It's steep, it's tough, you know, it'll beat you up.
It's challenging, and typically people that are bow hunters, they enjoy a challenge. And so I think in that regard, it's kind of a natural progression to go to something just a little more difficult.
You know, to really feel like you've done something, there has to be some level of uncertainty. You know, you have to not know if you're gonna be able to overcome it. And that's what's so interesting about it. When you do that, when you throw up that level of uncertainty and build this huge challenge up in front of yourself, and when you are able to top that, when you're able to overcome that, it's such a feeling of accomplishment.
So we can wrap around and stop and wait for you guys. Hey, get out of here, you bums.
I think eventually you come to realize that, you know, how meaningful something is to you on a personal level is directly influenced by how hard it is to get. You know, if you hunt long enough, for a lot of people, that's what it becomes about. It becomes more about overcoming those difficulties than, you know, reaching your ultimate goal.
Yeah, so the camp's right there on that bench. When I came around, there were 5 does up here. They let me walk right by them. Didn't even. They started walking away. They were 100 yards maybe.
That's so different from what we've been dealing with.
It's amazing
to me that there are people in this country who don't see the value in these lands.
You're in a constant state of awe looking around you at the scope, the scale, how huge everything is. The fact that there's nothing around you but mountain ranges. It puts you in touch with kind of your primal being.
With the swirly winds, the critters that know how to use the landscape, and the steep rocky country and crunchy snow sneaking up on them just ain't
It
worth
just
it.
ain't where it's at, is it?
They've got to move by you.
It's just like, it's like walking over
It's laughable.
potato chips,
Yeah.
trying to get close to something. It's just, you can't. Yeah, and it's a
barely keep
70-degree
your
slope with like
Right.
baseball-sized rocks on it.
So we've been hunting for, I don't know, 5-6 days, something like that. And Teague and Thane have been out, and they've got close a couple of times, and then I've been following Chuck around, and we got close. But the hunting is a lot tougher than I thought it was going to be. I knew the country was going to be tough, but I wasn't expecting so much trouble getting close to these deer. The wind in here is just absolutely treacherous. You never, even early in the morning and late in the evening, when those thermals should be working for you, you don't get a steady wind, for more than just a few minutes before that sucker will turn 180 degrees and start blowing up the canyon, or, wherever you don't want it to blow, that's where it's going to go. It makes it really tough. I found a group of does the other day when we were rafting down here, and so we're gonna see if we can't get close to those guys and wait for one of these bucks. These bucks are running back and forth, traversing these ridges, checking these groups of does. And if we can get in close to those does, there's a pretty good chance that a buck will come by us. So, but today's my first day to hunt, and we're gonna try something a little bit different. And the theory is that if you don't act like a predator and just basically show yourself to them and don't try to hide and don't pressure them, that eventually they'll accept you. I've heard of guys having good luck with it. We're gonna give it a try and see how it works out. snag up there so I can see across that saddle. You know, these animals have evolved for eons to evade very close range predators, and so all of their defenses are the most acute, finely honed within that striking distance of those predators. And we're talking, you know, wolves, cougars, bears. So that's where I want to be. You know, and it just gets more and more difficult the closer and closer you get. You know, when you get very close to these critters, there is zero room for error. There's a lot of things that have to line up that are out of your control. That just, if luck isn't with you that day, it's just not going to happen. We all choose our own mountains, whether it's the nature of the country we choose to hunt in, the nature of the animal, or the efficiency of our weapons. Hunting is about overcoming adversity. You know, I think it can be very difficult for people to really commit to really challenging themselves, especially today when things can come so easy. But I think there's definitely something to be said about taking that more difficult path. You know, if you hunt like this, you're probably not going to end up with the biggest buck on the mountain, but that's all right. You know, because it's not about the hero picture from the top of the mountain. It's about how you get there. It's about the ascent. Well, that was a pretty awesome experience. Even if we hadn't pulled it off in the end, just to be able to spend time in that country is spectacular. I'd like to take a minute just to thank the primary sponsor of this film, and that's the Professional Bowhunter Society. If you guys aren't familiar with them, you can check them out at probowsociety.net. They've got a great forum over there. If you guys have questions about bow hunting, especially traditional bow hunting or anything archery related really, you can go over there, post a question, and the guys that are members of that group are very knowledgeable. There's centuries, literally, of cumulative experience in that group. A lot of really knowledgeable guys that can help you answer those questions. Also, I'd like to thank all the individuals who took money out of their very own pocket to help support this film and bring it to everybody for free. Guys, I can't thank you enough. Don't forget to click the button to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and then head over to twistedstave.com and sign up for our mailing list, and we'll send out updates when we upload a new video, new blog post, and things like that. With that, we'll see you there.